Let's get into it. Stuttering John show. What'd you think, Kevin?
Well, Stuttering John is a guy I haven't really thought about in a lot of years.
Right.
Being a long Stern Show listener, he left a long time ago, and I never really quite paid attention to what he was doing. But this show, in a nutshell, is just him. It's just bad feelings from him, like for whatever, an hour and a half.
All right, I'm going to set this up. I want to, if there's people out there who don't know why Stuttering John is a thing, I'm just going to go real quick through what that is, starting off with classic Stuttering John. When he was on the Howard Stern show, he was the guy who they would send off to the red carpet events and different things to interview celebrities and ask ridiculous questions. One of my favorite moments of all time is this. Here's the set. He was at the Ringo Starr press conference. This has to be in the late 80s, early 90s?
Yeah, that would be my guess, yeah.
Yeah. So this is when Stuttering John was full-time with Howard Stern. You hear Jackie laughing, and this is going old school. This is his greatest accomplishment, Stuttering John's greatest accomplishment of all time, talking to Ringo Starr.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a fun question. What did you do with the money?
What money?
The money that your mom gave you for singing lessons.
Oh, this is the worst.
This was one of the greatest jokes of all time. So funny. So that's what Stuttering John was known for. He would go out and ask ridiculous questions. He'd go up to celebrities and say, who are you and why are you famous? Which pisses people off to no end when you're a celebrity. Yeah. Eventually, though, people would recognize him. They'd know it was Stuttering John from Howard Stern, and he wasn't able to get into these events. They wouldn't accept his press credentials. So he just became a bit character on the show that really didn't have a role on the show for Howard Stern, other than he was just kind of a guy in the back office who would rip on Gary or just bring shit up that he heard from Scott the engineer and come into the studio and mix things up. And then, obviously he was fodder for all of the people on the show, but he didn't really have anything going on.
We should probably qualify it that he used to stutter. That was like...
Well, you heard it in that clip. Yes, he was definitely a nervous Nelly.
Yeah.
He was not comfortable talking to celebrities and asking them ridiculous questions. He stayed around on Howard Stern's show for a while, and then eventually he got his big break, quote unquote. Jay Leno hired him to be the announcer for the Tonight Show. That sets it up. That's who Stuttering John is. Stuttering John went to the Tonight Show. Jay Leno obviously is no longer on the show. The whole staff is gone. And John, being a talentless hack, was left with nothing to do. And now he just started a podcast where it's him talking to his iPhone for 50 minutes. And that's all it is.
Yeah. It's a very hard listen because there's only 6 episodes so far.
Yeah.
And you could tell he's learning as he goes, because I was looking at their the web page for the show, and they're all named incorrectly.
Right. There's no consistency at all. This one was episode 4, but there was another episode that was called episode 4. They have no idea what they're doing. They keep changing the name of the podcast. I think it's called the Stuttering John Podcast, but I don't even know.